Hey guys, it's Allie and welcome to another pregnancy update. We're in week 26. I'm 26 weeks and a few days. Right now baby is the size of a butternut squash, which is pretty big. Here is the size of baby's hand, which is pretty adorable. This week what happened was the baby's eyelids opened. So I guess the eyelids stay fused shut for a few months. And they say it around this time is when they finally start to open, which is pretty cool. Feel her moving so much, which is my favorite thing in the world. I love it. I feel like I say this every week, but this week I really feel like I popped. Most people that see me do say that I'm little for how many weeks I am, but I've had a couple of people be like, oh, you look pretty big, which there's a better way of wording things, but it's fine. I still feel like a meatball, so whatever. I do say that it's a little bit more difficult for us shorter people because there's not much room for things to go. Whereas I think if you're taller, you kind of can get away with it a little bit, but I just feel like a meatball right now. So I'm trying to keep healthy. Haven't really worked out, which I'm a little disappointed, very disappointed in myself. But I've been super tired. Recently, it's been getting to that point where I get tired more quickly, but I still have energy throughout the day. But at the end of the night, I'm exhausted. The thing that's annoying, and I don't know if this is like, I don't know if it's technically considered pregnancy insomnia because I don't think I'm up enough yet to be considered like insomnia, but I'm so tired and I just can't sleep. Like, I could be exhausted. There was one time that I worked for like 12 hours. It was a really long day, and I came home and I was up. I was up till like, I don't know, 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. I don't know. So that's been kind of difficult. I've also haven't really been sleeping well, which stinks. My bones are hurting. My joints are hurting. I get up to pee like every 5 minutes. But it's all good. Like, I'm still enjoying it, even though it's starting to get a little bit more difficult. I'm still enjoying it. I don't know. Maybe I'm just one of those girls that like being pregnant. I don't know. One thing that I do want to talk about that I didn't really mention, and I realized I forgot to mention it in my last update, was my anxiety. So I actually do have anxiety to begin with. And for the most part, I am able to kind of like keep it under control, and I have learned different coping mechanisms that work for me. I personally am not one to jump to medication. That's just me, and I hope this doesn't start this whole big controversy, but I am not for medication like that. Obviously, if it's needed, it's needed. That's different. But I try my best just to have always dealt with my anxiety and things like that with different ways that work for me. So I personally have never been medicated for my anxiety, but I do have really bad anxiety. And I have noticed that throughout my pregnancy, I would feel like very anxious. Randomly, you know, sometimes it would get to the point where I felt like a panic attack was coming on. And for those of you who do suffer with anxiety, that is not fun. And sometimes I would feel like my heart beating really fast and like a lot of pressure in my chest. And I did read up on it, and apparently a lot of people do feel a little bit more anxious, especially those with anxiety. But it also could be just the increased volume of blood in your body. So your heart is kind of pumping more. And that's what makes it feel like the heart's just working harder. But there are times that I'm like, I tell TJ, I'm like, can you check my pulse because I feel like my heart's going to come out of my chest. And he always says that it's fine. I know that it's maybe my anxiety or maybe just my body working harder. I'm not sure. But the past couple of weeks, my anxiety has been really bad for no reason. Thankfully, I have not gone into like full-blown panic attack or anything like that. I just feel like very anxious. So that's one thing that I don't think I've mentioned in the past, but it has happened throughout my pregnancy. I just am noticing it more. And I just take deep breaths and drink water and do different things that help me. Everyone's different, but I know that's something that I haven't really heard too much about, but apparently it is a thing. This week it hasn't been too bad, every now and then. The last week, which I didn't mention in my update, that week was bad for some reason. This week, it's okay. Another thing is, and I think you guys can hear it, I get so winded and out of breath so easily, and I think it's just because I also just ate, so there's not a lot of room down there. But I think it's because, you know, obviously the baby's growing and like pushing on my lungs and things like that, and so I get very out of breath quickly just by talking. I have been definitely more hungry, and I have given into my cravings a little bit. Thankfully, I haven't had anything too bad, except last night I did want something salty and crunchy, so I really wanted chips, and we had chips, so I had chips last night, which was not good, but not terrible. I feel like you need to let yourself give into those cravings every now and then. Just don't go too crazy. I've also been wanting sweets. I've been wanting like chocolate. Like I literally have a Milky Way bar right here. That's embarrassing. And again, I try to keep myself under control, treat myself to snacks and chocolate and things like that, but also, you know, instead of like indulging in a whole thing of ice cream, maybe get some frozen yogurt instead. So a little bit of balance. But I do feel like this week I kind of just blew up weight wise. From last week, I've only gained a pound, which I think you're supposed to be gaining about a pound per week. So I'm glad that it wasn't going too crazy. Baby girl is about, I think, 2 pounds or a little bit more. It says that her respiratory system sufficiently developed, which is so exciting. Something that I really like is that, again, I'm using the Ovia app, so I usually reference that a lot. But one of them was talking about like almost playing like the poking game, where since the baby kind of starts to react, which is really cool. So sometimes I'm like rubbing my belly, whether it's with the belly balm or if I just want to feel her move and reassure myself that she's okay in there, I'll go and like rub my belly or poke my belly, and she pokes back, which is like so sweet. Sometimes I'm like, okay, baby girl, like let me know that you're okay, and I just start poking and she moves and I'm like, okay, thank you. I did wear my jeans, I think a couple weeks ago, with a belly band, and I'm still able to fit into my jeans, which is good, but I don't think I'll be fitting into those size 2s anymore. I haven't tried putting them on again. The last time I did put them on again was like a week and a half ago. I put them on and I was able to zip them, and I was still able to button them, but it was not comfortable. So I wore it with the belly band. But now I think I'm done. I don't think I'm going to go for that anymore. So I haven't worn like my real pants in forever. I've been living in leggings, and maternity leggings are my best friend. They are so comfortable. Excuse my appearance, because since I've been so exhausted, I'm actually in between clients right now, so I have to run back to work. But I've just been so tired that I'm just like, I want to take a nap. But I knew I had to film an update. I was going to do my hair and my makeup, and I was like, yeah, I won't. Not today. Okay, so I'm going to show you a belly shot. I know these horizontal stripes are not going to give me any justice, but I'll show you guys. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this update, and I will see you in next week's update. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you want to keep up with all these little bump dates and stuff like that. And if you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know if you've had any similar symptoms throughout your pregnancy or anything like that. And that's it. So I'll see you guys in my next bump date, and as always, be sure to stay happy.